My girlfriend of 8 months said I only post a man when he's truly deserving. Demanded I post about our relationship on social media, but refuses to do the same. Starting to feel like I am being played. I never thought I would be posting here, but I am genuinely confused about what is happening in my relationship and need some outside perspective. I am Ethan, 29. Work in software development here in Phoenix. Been dating Marissa for about 8 months now. She is 26. Works in social media marketing for a lifestyle brand. And she is honestly one of the most beautiful women I have ever been with. Smart, funny, knows how to work a room. When we started dating, I felt like I would hit the lottery. Marissa is very active on Instagram and TikTok. It is part of her job, but also just who she is. She has about 15K followers on Instagram, posts these perfectly curated lifestyle shots, and gets hundreds of likes on everything. I am not really a social media guy myself, but I respect that it is important to her career. About 3 months into our relationship, she started dropping hints about wanting me to post about us. Little comments like it would be so cute if you shared that photo of us from dinner, or I love when couples post about each other. It is so sweet. I wasn't opposed to it, just not something that occurred to me naturally, but she seemed to want it, so I started posting occasionally. A photo of us at a concert, a story with her at brunch, that kind of thing. Nothing crazy, but definitely making it clear I was in a happy relationship. She loved it, would screenshot everything I posted about her, repost it to her stories, comment with heart emojis, but always cropped out my username or used features that hid my identity. It clearly meant a lot to her, so I kept doing it. Over the past few months, I have probably posted about her once or twice a week, photos of us together, stories from our dates, even a post for her birthday calling her my beautiful girlfriend with a bunch of pictures. Here is where it gets weird. I am scrolling through her Instagram yesterday and realized something that has been nagging at me for weeks. She has never once posted about me. Not a single photo of us together on her main feed. Not one story with me in it. Nothing. I went back through months of her posts and found absolutely nothing that suggested she was in a relationship. Even the screenshots she posted of my account were suspicious. Her always carefully cropped out the name, as if she didn't want anyone to know who I was. Her Instagram gave off the unmistakable vibe of someone completely single. And this is someone who posts obsessively multiple times a day about everything. Her coffee, her workouts, her outfits, her nights out with friends. Yet, in all those 8 months, she never once shared anything about her boyfriend. Last night, I brought it up casually. Hey, I noticed you have never posted any photos of us. Is there a reason for that? Her response was immediate and defensive. I just like to keep my personal life private. Social media can be really toxic, and I don't want to deal with negative comments about my relationship. I found that reasoning weird since she literally posts about every other aspect of her personal life, but I didn't push it. Then she said something that really bothered me. Besides, I only post about relationships when I am sure the person is worth it. When I know they are really the one, you know? I asked what she meant by that. I mean, I only post a man when he's truly deserving of being on my page. It is not personal. It is just, I have standards. The way she said deserving and standards made my stomach drop, like posting about me would somehow lower the quality of her content or damage her brand. But you have been asking me to post about you for months. I pointed out, that is different. Your page doesn't really matter for your career. Mine does. I have been thinking about this conversation all day, and I am starting to feel like there is something really unfair happening here. She has been pressuring me to broadcast our relationship to my friends and family for months, but she gets to keep me hidden from hers. I post about her and she gets to feel loved and validated. But when I ask for the same thing, suddenly, I am not worth it yet. It is starting to make me feel like she is ashamed of me or like I am not good enough for her image. Like I am some kind of placeholder boyfriend while she figures out if someone better is going to come along. I tried to talk to my buddy Marcus about this, and he said something that has been stuck in my head. Dude, if a girl wants you to post about her but will not post about you, she is shopping around. Is that what is happening here? Am I being paranoid, or is this a legitimate red flag? The thing that really gets me is how different she acts in person versus online. In person, she is affectionate, calls me her boyfriend, talks about future plans together. But online, she is completely single. It is like I exist in this weird parallel universe, where I am good enough to date but not good enough to acknowledge. I am starting to question everything. Like, why does she care so much about me posting about her if she doesn't want to post about me? What is the point of me putting myself out there if she is not willing to do the same? Has anyone else dealt with this kind of double standard? Am I overreacting? Or is this as weird as it feels? I care about her, but I am starting to feel like I am putting way more into this relationship than she is. At least publicly. And if someone's not proud enough to claim you after 8 months, what does that say about how they really feel? Edit. A lot of people are asking about her follower count and whether she gets hit on in her DMs. Yes, she definitely gets a lot of attention from guys online. I have seen some of the messages when she shows me funny or weird ones. Maybe that is relevant. Edit 2. To clarify, I am not asking her to post about me constantly. I just think it is weird that she has never posted about me even once while demanding that I post about her regularly. Update 1. Thank you to everyone who responded to my original post. The consensus was pretty clear. This wasn't normal behavior and I wasn't being paranoid. A lot of you suggested the double standard was a red flag. And unfortunately, you were right. I spent a few days thinking about all the comments and advice. The more I thought about it, the more I realized this wasn't really about social media at all. It was about respect. She wanted me to publicly commit to and promote our relationship while keeping her own options open. That is not how partnerships work. I went to her apartment Saturday evening to have a conversation about it. I had decided that if she couldn't see why this bothered me or wasn't willing to change, we should probably break up. I started by explaining how the double standard made me feel. That it seemed like she was asking me to be all in while she stayed uncommitted. That I felt like I was being used for validation while she kept herself available to other opportunities. Her initial response was to get defensive and accuse me of being insecure and controlling. I cannot believe you are trying to dictate what I post on my own social media, she said. That is so toxic. I explained that I wasn't trying to control her posting. I was questioning why she felt entitled to control mine while refusing to make the same commitment herself. That is when she switched tactics and started love-bombing me. Baby, you know I love you. Social media doesn't matter. What we have is real. Why do we need to prove it to strangers on the internet? If it doesn't matter, I said, then why have you been pressuring me to post about you for months? She couldn't answer that. I told her that I needed to see some reciprocity in our relationship, including in how we presented it to the world, that I was tired of feeling like her secret while being expected to shout about her from the rooftops. She got quiet for a minute, then said, "Fine, I will post about you." I was planning to anyway. I just wanted to wait for the right moment. But something about the way she said it felt hollow, like she was only agreeing because she had to, not because she wanted to or understood why it mattered to me. That is when I realized that even if she posted about me now, it would only be because I had forced her to. It wouldn't be because she was proud to be with me or excited to share our relationship. It would be damage control. I don't want you to post about me because I am making you, I said. I want to be with someone who actually wants to claim me. I told her I thought we should break up. The change in her demeanor was instant and dramatic. She went from defensive to panicked in about 2 seconds. Wait, what? No, you cannot be serious. Over something this stupid. She started crying and begging me not to leave. Promised she would post about me that night. That she would make it up to me. That she just needed more time to be sure about us. But she was getting there. If you need more time to be sure about me after 8 months, I said, then you are never going to be sure. I left her apartment with her calling after me, promising to change, asking me to stay and talk it through. Here is where it gets interesting. And where I found out I definitely made the right decision. I blocked her on all social media that night. I was done and didn't want to see whatever posting spree she was probably going on to try to win me back. But my friend Jake follows her, and Monday morning he called me with some information that made my blood run cold. Dude, you need to know something about Marissa. Apparently, Jake had been watching her Instagram activity over the weekend and noticed something weird. She was still actively responding to DMs and comments from other guys who were clearly hitting on her, asking her out, complimenting her photos. But here's the thing, she was acting disturbingly single, as if their relationship didn't even exist. Jake had saved a string of screenshots, each more painful than the last. One random guy commented, "You re so beautiful. Are you single?" Marissa replied with a cheerful, almost flirty, "Thank you." Another guy wrote, "I'd love to take you out sometime." Her answer was warm, polite, almost inviting. "That's so sweet of you." And then came the worst one, the one that cut the deepest. Some guy commented, "Your boyfriend must be lucky." And Marissa, without hesitation, typed back, "What boyfriend?" This was Sunday night. Less than 24 hours after she had been crying and begging me not to leave her. Jake sent me screenshots of at least 5 different conversations where guys were hitting on her and she was responding positively, flirting back, and acting completely single. When I confronted her with this information over text, she kept texting me begging me to come back. And to be honest, I was a little tempted. Her response was classic. "Those are just old conversations. I was just being polite. You are taking things out of context." But Jake had timestamps. These were all from Sunday and Monday. After our breakup conversation, that is when it all clicked. The reason she didn't want to post about me wasn't because she wanted privacy. It was because she was keeping her options open. She wanted to look single online so she could continue getting attention and offers from other men. I blocked Facebook her so I didn't know about this. We communicate by email. Even before she often hid the comments section. She had been having her cake and eating it too, getting the validation of having a boyfriend who posted about her while maintaining the freedom of appearing single to everyone else. I told her we were done and to never contact me again. She sent about 20 more texts alternating between apologies, excuses, anger, and accusations that I was ruining everything over nothing. The final text I got from her yesterday said, "You are going to regret this. I was the best thing that ever happened to you and you threw it away because of your ego." I blocked her mail after that. I am honestly shocked at how quickly her mask came off once I stood up for myself. The woman who had been telling me she loved me on Saturday was flirting with random guys on Sunday. I feel like I dodged a massive bullet. If this is how she acted 8 months in, imagine what marriage would have looked like. Edit. Several people have asked if I think she was physically cheating. I don't know, and honestly don't care at this point. The emotional unavailability and deception were enough. Edit 2. Yes, I am sure about the timestamps on those messages. Jake sent me screenshots with full context showing they were recent conversations, not old ones. Update 2. I wasn't going to post again, but what I have learned over the past week has been so insane that I felt like I needed to share it, both to warn other guys and to get some perspective on the absolute shit show that is unfolded. After my last update, I thought I was done with Marissa forever. I had blocked her everywhere, felt good about my decision, and was ready to move on. What I didn't expect was to discover that my situation was way worse than I would originally thought. Last Tuesday, my buddy Marcus called me sounding really uncomfortable. "Hey man, I need to tell you something about Marissa, but I don't know if you want to hear it." Apparently, Marcus had been at happy hour with some coworkers when one of them mentioned dating this hot Instagram girl named Marissa, who worked in social media marketing. Marcus asked to see a photo. And sure enough, it was my ex. This guy, let's call him Brad, had been seeing Marissa for about 3 months. According to him, they would met on a dating app, been on multiple dates, and she had told him she wasn't seeing anyone else seriously, but wasn't ready to be official yet. 3 months. That overlaps with our relationship by at least 2 months. Marcus didn't say anything to Brad about knowing me, but he got enough information to confirm this wasn't some coincidence or misunderstanding. Brad showed him text conversations, photos they had taken together, even mentioned that she had been hesitant to go public with their relationship on social media because she didn't want to rush things. Sound familiar? I asked Marcus to get more details without revealing our connection. What he found out over the next few days was even worse. Turns out Brad wasn't the only one. Through some social media sleuthing and casual conversations, Marcus discovered that Marissa had been simultaneously dating at least 3 different guys over the past few months, possibly more. Each guy thought he was her primary relationship that just wasn't official yet. She was using the same lines on everyone. Not ready to go public, needs time to be sure, wants to keep things private until she is certain. Meanwhile, She was demanding that I post about her constantly while telling the other guys she preferred to keep relationships off social media until they were more serious. Don't ask me if she is not afraid of being discovered, because I don't know either. The manipulation was incredible. She had crafted a different version of herself for each relationship, giving each guy exactly what they needed to hear to keep them around without commitment. But it gets worse. Yesterday, Marcus called me in a panic. "Dude, you need to stay away from downtown this week. There is some serious drama going down with your ex." Apparently, one of Marissa's other relationships was with a married man named Dylan. I don't know how Marcus found this out, but Dylan's wife, Emily, somehow discovered the affair and decided to handle it publicly. Emily showed up at the restaurant where Marissa was having lunch with friends and confronted her in front of everyone. And I mean everyone. The place was packed. It was loud, and according to Marcus, who heard this from someone who was there, Emily did not hold back. She apparently walked up to Marissa's table and said, loud enough for the whole restaurant to hear, "Are you Marissa Crow? The one who has been sleeping with my husband Dylan Hart?" Marissa tried to deny it, but Emily came prepared. She had screenshots of text messages, photos, even hotel receipts. She laid it all out right there in the restaurant. "You have been telling my husband that you are single and available while you have been stringing along multiple other men. What kind of person does that?" The whole thing was apparently mortifying. Marissa tried to leave, but Emily followed her out into the parking lot, still shouting about how she had been destroying families and manipulating men. Someone filmed part of it, and it has been circulating around our social circles. I haven't watched it because I don't need to see that drama, but multiple people have told me about it. The fallout has been swift and brutal. Marissa's social media accounts have been flooded with comments from people who know about the situation. Her company apparently had a serious conversation with her about how her personal drama was affecting their brand image. Most of her friend group has distanced themselves from her. Turns out a lot of people had suspicions about her behavior but never said anything until now. As for me, I feel vindicated but also kind of sick about the whole thing. I mean, I knew something was off, but I never imagined the scale of what she was doing. The woman I thought I was in love with was essentially running a small-scale dating business, keeping multiple men on the hook while committing to none of them. I wasn't her secret boyfriend. I was one of several secret boyfriends. What bothers me most is how deliberate it all was. The social media strategy, the different stories for different guys, the careful management of who knew what. This wasn't someone who was confused about what she wanted. This was someone who wanted everything and was willing to lie and manipulate to get it. I have gotten a few texts from numbers I don't recognize over the past couple days, probably her trying to reach me from different phones. I am not responding. A couple people have asked if I feel bad for her given how public and humiliating her exposure has been. Honestly, not really. She made calculated decisions to deceive multiple people, and now she is dealing with the consequences. That is not something that happened to her. That is something she created. I do feel bad for Dylan's wife and kids, assuming he has them. And I feel bad for the other guys who got played just like I did. But Marissa, she earned whatever social consequences she is facing. I am just grateful. I trusted my instincts and got out when I did. If I had stayed and tried to work things out, I would have just been enabling more of this behavior. Edit. People keep asking if I am going to reach out to the other guys she was dating. I don't think that is my place. They will figure out what happened soon enough if they haven't already. Edit 2. No. I am not going to post the video or screenshots. That is not what this is about, and I don't want to contribute to the public humiliation, even though she brought it on herself. Final update. It has been 6 months since the restaurant incident and the whole Marissa situation, and I have gotten several DMs asking for a final update. Figured I would give you all some closure on how everything turned out. The short version, I am doing incredible, and I dodged the biggest bullet of my life. I have been in a relationship for the past 4 months with someone I met through work. Her name is Jessica. She is a UX designer, and she is everything Marissa wasn't. Honest, straightforward, emotionally available, and she actually wants to share her life with me instead of hiding me from it. When I told Jessica about what happened with my ex, her response was perfect. That is insane. Who has the energy to maintain that many lies? No drama. No trying to see Marissa's perspective. Just genuine shock at the deception. That is when I knew Jessica was different. Career-wise, I got promoted to senior developer, and I am working on some really exciting projects. Amazing. What you can accomplish when you are not constantly stressed about relationship drama and wondering if your girlfriend is cheating on you. As for Marissa, well, the consequences of her actions have been severe and lasting. The restaurant confrontation was just the beginning. Over the following weeks, more information came out about the scope of what she had been doing. Turns out she hadn't just been dating multiple people. She had been systematically manipulating each relationship to get different things from different men. One guy was paying for her dinners and entertainment. Another was helping with her car payments. A third was buying her gifts and taking her on weekend trips. And Dylan, the married guy, was apparently helping with her rent in exchange for, well, you can guess. She would essentially created a network of men who each thought they were her primary relationship, while she extracted maximum benefit from each of them. The social media fallout was brutal. Once word got out about what she had been doing, people started posting receipts, screenshots of conversations, photos proving she had been with multiple men on the same weekends, even financial records in some cases. Her Instagram following dropped by about 8,000 people in 2 weeks. The lifestyle brand she worked for let her go, citing personal conduct incompatible with company values. Her carefully curated influencer image was completely destroyed. She had to move back in with her parents because she could no longer afford her apartment without Dylan's help and her various other financial arrangements. Most of her friend group cut her off entirely. The most pathetic part. About 2 months after everything imploded, she tried to reach out to me through a mutual acquaintance, asking if I would be willing to talk things through now that I knew the full story. I declined. There was no full story that could justify what she had done. She had lied to me for months, manipulated multiple men simultaneously, and only got caught because one of her targets happened to be married to someone who fought back. Last I heard, she is working at some retail job and trying to rebuild her social media presence, but her reputation precedes her. The Phoenix social scene isn't that big, and word gets around fast. Dylan's marriage survived. From what I understand, Emily apparently decided to work things out with him after he came clean about everything and agreed to counseling. I hope they make it work. The other guys Marissa was stringing along have all moved on. One of them, Brad, actually reached out to me a few months ago to compare notes about what happened. We got coffee, and both agreed we were lucky to escape when we did. Can you imagine if we had married her? He said. She would have destroyed our lives. He was right. If I had given in to her love bombing and stayed in the relationship, I would have just been enabling more of the same behavior. Eventually, it would have gotten worse, not better. The whole experience taught me some valuable lessons about trusting my instincts and not accepting double standards in relationships. When someone asks for commitment from you that they are not willing to give back, that is not love, that is exploitation. Jessica and I are talking about moving in together this fall. Her friends and family all know about me. I am all over her social media, and she genuinely wants to build a life together instead of just extracting value from our relationship. Edit. Someone asked if I ever feel sorry for Marissa. Not really. She made calculated decisions to deceive and manipulate multiple people for months. The social consequences she faced were the natural result of her own choices. Edit 2. For those wondering, no, she never did post about me on social media, even after everything came out. Kind of tells you everything you need to know about how she really felt.